What's up, everybody? It's your boy Ryan, and this is the Thunder Channel on Nootropics. Hold on, my mic is messed up. Hold on. Okay, thanks so much for watching. Guys, remember, every shred of information we put out on this channel has to be brought by products. Good thing we have awesome nootropic and biohacking products. Number one, the Cortex stack. There are 17 or 18 bottles. I think it's like just below a box of Cortex left, to buy one get one free. So you can actually still get Cortex at buy one get one free today. Probably be out of stock by today, late today, or tomorrow. So you got to do it ASAP. Add a bottle to your cart. Use the coupon code GET1 GET_ONE. That gets you a bottle for free per what you buy. So if you buy 5, you get 5 free. If you buy 1, you get 1 free. If you see that coupon code applies successfully, that's all you need to do. It's not going to be on your invoice. It won't even be on your cart. You just have to use the coupon code and then it applies. Buy one, get one free on the Cortex stack right now, livecortex.com. Nootropics Masterclass, a course intended to take you to the 6-year mark in using nootropics. It's a video course. It is awesome. It is information dense. You get better results at that level. That course is down to $55 in preparation for the Nootropics God course, which is the decade plus taking nootropics. Get the Nootropics Masterclass. Do yourself a favor, $55 right now. If you're new to nootropics, you just have to start with Nootropics Ground Zero. It's a video course that I created to take you from the ground up to the 3-year mark in taking nootropics. There's a lot of things you have to know right off the bat if you're going to start using nootropics to save time, save powder, get better results. We teach you how in Nootropics Ground Zero, if you are a guy and want to raise test, there is no better protocol out there on the web. I've tried most of the paid ones and none of them really worked, some marginally. Created my own. It's called the Viking Testosterone Protocol. You can get that at livecortex.com. Last couple things. If you're a business person and you're serious about hardcore mental optimization and massive productivity, almost like Bradley Cooper Limitless style, but without the side effects, you have to get on board with either the 1 month, the 3.5 month, or the 6 month intensive. These are results-driven biohacking consults where we work diligently, daily, in a very hyper-communicative way to get you function super optimally. The 3.5 month and the 6 month also apply to PSSD, as well as post-benjo syndrome. Any question about what applies? Ryan at livecortex.com. Let's chat about it. Okay, so I want to talk about how dogmatism is the enemy of proper biohacking. Okay, God, there's a lot to unpack here, so I might be all over the place, so just sort of bear with me. Let's see. Generally, I think it's important for people to understand that if you're going to improve any syndrome that you have, like some sort of chemistry derangement, if you're going to improve energy baseline, if you're going to get yourself really functional, that throughout the time that you're experimenting with research chems and energy optimization chemicals and supplements and pharma drugs, that are either discontinued or not approved by the FDA, so supplements, or some that are actual, legit, current modern pharmaceutical drugs. Underlying that, obviously, is a theory, right? It's a hypothesis that said chemicals will help you. And in some cases, your chemical protocol will give you inklings that it's helping you. And on certain days, it will help you. And on other days, it may not help you. And in that, some of those chemicals may be taking you in the wrong direction. Okay, that said, that dynamic in play. Number one critical thing in proper biohacking is not to be completely immutably sold on the idea that your protocol and your understanding of how to fix your issue is set in stone or 100% accurate. Because in a lot of cases, it may not be. And there's things that you might have to change in your protocol. You might get relief from a chemistry derangement syndrome from one protocol, and then you stop getting relief from that protocol because that's really not the target, it was just a Band-Aid. And you have to be, as a proper biohacker, able to shift your perspective in the presence of new information, right? That validates a different hypothesis, right? That's proper science in the end. The only thing that can change validated science is validated science, right? And down the rabbit hole of brain chemistry derangement, particularly, and of course energy derangement, hormonal function derangement, down that rabbit hole, you will have to have various hypotheses and then execute protocols to either confirm or deny those hypotheses. And when you reach a point of a marked denial of your hypothesis, you have to be willing to change what you're doing, okay? And you can't just continuously think that one thing, a singular thing. This is the biggest mistake I see biohackers make, is the root cause of your issue, or it's one hormone to target, or it's one supplement that you're going to take just consistently, or it's one neurotransmitter receptor site that you've got to work on. In most of these situations, chemistry derangement, hormonal derangement, energy baseline derangement, it doesn't work that way, okay? The brain, let's just start with the brain, much more complex than one neurotransmitter or one receptor site, okay? When you're talking about stuff relating to libido, way more complex, especially if in the past drugs were introduced into the mix that damaged your ability to have normal libido. It's just so much more complex than one thing. Okay, so let me just give you some examples. I've seen people in situations that are not biohackers, right? They're just people that have researched trying to fix their anxiety. Okay, let's just use that as an example. They were on Klonopin for a long time, and now they've got all this massive derangement of GABA A and GABA B, and glutamate's overfiring, and probably have some inhibition or derangement of acetylcholine, and probably some sort of serotonin dopamine issue, right? Their whole brain is essentially deranged. They have started to take, or they have been taking, let's say, good example, like passion flower as an example. And it gives them some sort of relief from their situation. Now, we discussed this a long time ago. The problem with passion flower is that it actually agonizes the benzocytes at the GABA A receptor. So, if they were to talk to a biohacker that knows or has maybe worked with people in that situation, that biohacker suggests, hey, you shouldn't be taking that because you're really furthering yourself in the hole and you're prolonging the time that it's going to take you to get better. And they aren't open to removing that compound, well, they're never going to get better. Carnivore is another great example, right? An example of a person that's been on carnivore for like a pretty, let's call it like 2.5 months, because in the beginning on diets like that, you catalyze a surge of epinephrine and norepinephrine, and in most cases a surge of cortisol. And that can fool people into thinking that the powerful energy that they have on carnivore is caused by like fatty acid usage in brain cell mitochondria, because like the monitor tells them that they're in ketosis and they've got blood ketones shooting to the brain, and technically that's what's supposed to happen. The optimization from carnivore is really not that. The temporary optimization before the endocrine system fails and the gut fails and a bunch of other things go wrong if you stick with it consistently is more a increase in adrenaline, and in some cases increases in cortisol. Okay, so that's another example. If you're unwilling to see that because you're dogmatic about carnivore, because you've been reading Rob Wolf blogs and whoever, like, you studied Peter Attia. I've studied all these guys, man. I was into keto 7 years ago for a very long time. Did my own stint with it, ran the experimentation, came to the conclusions I've come to. If you're unwilling to see that, you're dogmatic about your position, guess what? You're not going to get better. And if you're trying to respond positively to nootropics, fat chance, because you need glucose utilization to be pretty fucking on par neurologically if you're going to respond really well to nootropics. The other thing, last point I want to make about being dogmatic, if you're executing a protocol and in some sense it's helping you to have better energy or better brain function, but on the other side you're having noticeable health problems or noticeable sort of pain in the ass issues, like you are waking up in the middle of the night 5 times with excessive heart rate or more, or when you wake up in the morning, your energy is unable to, no matter what you do, get back to some sense of normal so that you actually function in the beginning part of the day, the most productive part of the day for most folks, and the time to kind of eat the frog and get stuff done. You have to be willing to step out of the dogmatism and realize that if, in this case, sleep is that deranged, something's wrong. And your resting heart rate is that deranged, something's wrong. Men that take TRT, that think it's the best thing in the world, listen, bioidentical hormone replacement therapy, pretty much a good thing, so long as the levels are right. Like, you should sort of be having the levels somewhere around when you were 22 to 25 years old. Nothing more than that. And you don't want to skyrocket test past a certain point, because there's all kinds of things that happen. Now, men in this situation will often, through dogmatism, through being super dogmatic about what they think they know, will have edema, swelling of like the face and swelling of other tissues because of massive water retention, increased hemoglobin, higher blood pressure, and hosts of other issues. In some cases, hepatic dysfunction. I've seen this stuff before. But deny that it's the TRT that's doing it, right? I'm not saying TRT is bad. I'm saying you probably have quite frankly, a shitty doctor, who doesn't have you on the right levels and who's not really that acutely concerned about making the granular steps in adjusting your dose on TRT and keeping and having the aromatase inhibitors, the anti-estrogens at the right quantity for your body to actually make you feel awesome. You feel the benefits of testosterone, you don't have side effects, right? But if you're running into problems, you have to be willing to admit that could be part of the issue. I say this because I interact with a lot of biohackers, and I see this in them. Dogmatism, thinking one thing is the answer, it's not, sticking with it, being unwilling to look at other things that might really, really help them to get better or to fix their issue. And I also see people that are trying to fix major issues, but there's stuff in their baseline that they're dogmatic about that is contributing to their issues. And they are reluctant, apprehensive, and painfully stubborn to remove those things. And in those cases, people won't get better. You're just going to keep perpetuating underlying issues which need to be removed. Okay, so I know that was a lot for you guys to unpack, but I hope it makes sense. I think it does for those of you that are paying attention. Listen, if you want to help yourself to get better, to function better, to have better brain performance, to fix your hormonal issues, to have permanent resolution in your brain chemistry issues and your libido issues, otherwise chemistry issues, you have to be willing to adapt your perspective and your understanding of things, loosen up the idea that you think you know exactly how all of this works, and be able to then springboard to other protocols or different ways of thinking in the presence of new information. Okay? The biggest barrier to people getting results while biohacking is dogmatism. Hope that makes sense. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Remember, Cortex Stack, again, there's like 18 bottles left to buy one, get one free. You got to do it now if you're thinking about doing it. Go to livecortex.com, add a bottle to your cart. Coupon code is GET1, GET space ONE. If you see that the coupon code applied successfully, you're done, you're in. It registers on our side, and when we ship however many bottles you bought, like if you bought one, we'll ship you another one. We ship you the free bottles per what you bought if you used that coupon code. It's not going to show up in your invoice. Just make sure you use the coupon code and you are good. BOGO right now on Cortex, probably the last day or two. Do it at livecortex.com. You guys know the drill for the rest of the stuff. 6-year mark in taking nootropics Masterclass video course. $55 right now. Cheapest it'll ever be. Cheapest it's ever been in preparation for the Nootropics God course, which is coming out sometime soon. Still working on it. If you're new to nootropics, again, you just have to start with Nootropics Round Zero. I created that course because there was just no course, no direction for people that are brand new. To get you to a pretty sustainable mark in using nootropics where you fully understand what you're doing so that you can get the best results possible. Nootropics Ground Zero does that for people. It's a video course of me, about an hour, 10 minutes or so. Get it at livecortex.com. If you're a guy that needs a race test, Viking Testosterone Protocol, I am back on the VTP after having cut a bunch of fat and now kind of somewhat bulking again and doing an aggressive regimen. TRT, not TRT, VTP, way better than TRT in my opinion, is awesome. It's just a great program. Get it at livecortex.com. Last couple things, if you need my help in cognitive optimization, full on, powerful mental performance so that you can be a workhorse and get stuff done that you need to, especially now in this like super weird economical state that we're in, either the 1 month, the 3.5 month, or the 6 month intensive. These are biohacking, results driven, frequent communication programs where we help you get results. We are working with you every day. I am on your side. We're communicating daily, many times a day. Ruthless experimentation, okay? Rigorous results driven consults, 3.5 month and the 6 month. Also apply to PSSD and post-benzo syndrome. If there's any question about if any of those relate to you, please email me, ryan@livecortex.com. Thank you so much for listening, everybody. Thanks for watching. It's been epic being with you. More content to come soon. We'll talk to you next time.